David Ariev here for Brograph.com and iDesign.com, coming to you with yet another wonderful interview for the NAB on the NAB show floor. I'm a little bit out of it right now, a little bit hungover, but I'm here with my buddy Jan. I love this guy. I look up to him. He's one of the best artists I know of in the entire motion design industry. So Jan Sladecko, or more correctly, Sladecko, right? I got it. Yeah, man. So you're from the Czech Republic. Talk about how many years have you been doing motion design? What was it like doing that in the Czech Republic? I guess you did like VFX and motion design at first, and like all these like small team projects. What was your life like for, in getting into After Effects and all this stuff back in the Czech Republic?
Yeah, oh yeah, it's correct. In Sladecko, I'm really nice surprise. Yeah, I'm saying Sladecko here because it's easier for the people.
Right.
I started 2010. I started working for movies in After Effects. It was really rare. Everybody was doing Nuke, and it was like small department in After Effects. But then we basically started using more After Effects and slightly Cinema 4D, and I was doing the user interface and graphics for movies. And I was just like a little bit more and a little bit more, and they gave me more freedom. And I realized I was loving it. So then I left the movie industry, and I started working more for commercials and TVs. And I started doing like a full motion design things. Mm-hmm. But it was hard. I was doing for small brands, and I was doing music videos, and I was like testing, and I was like seeing where it will go.
Yeah.
But eventually I decided I have to move and see what's gonna happen in abroad, and I moved to London, and but it was like small steps in the beginning.
Okay, but before you moved, you had this hilarious YouTube channel. Sledgy, is that what it is? So tell us about the zombie cat true story. This is, okay, so his roots, he has the most ridiculous like YouTube video you've ever seen. It's like right along the lines with the dudes we were talking to yesterday, Corridor Digital and Freddie Wong. And do you remember when like Jean-Claude Van Damme, they released that green screen footage where you could key him out and use him in his, so like Freddie Wong did a video like that, but this guy took it to the next level and had like a whole war film where they were fighting zombie cats and then other zombies and the aliens, and it was just the most funny thing you've ever seen. So check out Zombie Cat True Story. Like, I love this. So like, I love that you've got this comedic element to your work, and I love seeing it come back into your personal work. But yeah, tell us about that project and like the whole like people getting pissed at you in the comments for like, because it says true story. They're like, this is so fake.
No, yeah, it's true. This is kind of funny part. I mean, when I was starting, I was using After Effects all the time, and I wanted to experiment, and I was always so excited. Oh, I could maybe compose this explosion here, or this like energy here, and this and there. And I was like learning Video Copilot, as many of us did. And I was like really just taking the videos, and I was like mixing up different ideas, and I was like having a really good time just experimenting. And then I realized it's my passion, the motion design and the graphic. And I was doing a school project where I was like the main actor. I was like the Rambo, and I was like trying to save the world against the aliens, which were converting all the people to zombies. It was a ridiculous story. I just wanted to make people laugh, but at the same time I wanted to do something which I enjoy, which was action movies.
Yeah, exactly.
So it was a cool, interesting blend for me. And then came up this show with Jean-Claude Van Damme, the challenge.
Right. Yeah.
So I got these footages, so I blended together, and I made like this kind of crazy short movie.
Yeah.
And back then it got banned from the YouTube. so it was like really like many years in the shelf in my computer hard drive, and then I uploaded recently.
And it's got like 1 million
and
views.
It's got almost like 1 million views. It's kind of skyrocketed. And I met guy from Corridor Digital, and I was just like, wow, so this could be my alternative presence or the future if I would stay doing that, because I kind of failed back then. So I left my hobby, and I started doing more like commercial work, industry. I'm not regretting, because I learned so much. I was working in such a big companies around the world. It was a really interesting time for me. But at the same time, somewhere in my back head, as you said, I was like kind of like missing this comic element.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to now introduce in my new videos, and hopefully it's gonna kind of land on a proper place and people like it, and I will enjoy to making it.
Yeah.
So that's my that's my kind of plans for close future.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. I think when you did your SIGGRAPH presentation, that's when I really like noticed your work like so much. Like with the Transformers thing you posted on the Octane Facebook group, that blew me away. Like the complexity of the transition, going into the tunnel, like all of the moving parts. It looks so complex, and like it fits perfectly into the Transformers world. And then like taking Video Copilot assets, you know those. Like Star Wars type tunnels and kit bashing them and then adding all the little lights, it just brought it to the next level. So I thought that was super cool. And then also like the Americans title sequence, like I learned a bunch. Like that SIGGRAPH presentation was awesome. I learned so much from it, like the X and Y X particles limits to create that like cross weaved look and stuff like that. Yeah, man, that was super cool.
Yeah, I mean, thank you a lot. I mean, it was most interesting project from last year at the Mel which I was working on, and I always wanted to do this kind of like techie stuff, that dark thing.
Right, yeah.
So when I got the offer work on this project, I just like, that's why I traveled thousands of miles. That's why I left my family and my friends, and why I got to the States. I mean, give me the opportunity, and I just like, I want to take this. So I was working like extra hard, and I really wanted to do something which I care and which I enjoy. So I was adding more elements or more details than they asked me, just because I wanted to do something which I will be proud of.
Right.
And we had a really tight schedule. It was like 16 days or something like that. But yeah, it was an interesting project. It was the first time I was doing the kit bashing because I didn't have much time. So I had to use the shortcuts, which was the kit bashing perfect. So I was using the Motion Design 2 pack, I believe. And Americans, we had like slightly bigger team, but it was also really interesting. We were like combining different like approaches and tools. And yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I mean, those things, those opportunities are because I choose my commercial work, and I learned so much about this. And now I would like to find some transitions and using all the skills and abilities which I learned during the past, I don't know, 8 years or how many is it? And I would like to combining in those kind of short animations.
Yeah, well, yeah, it seems like you're doing that with your latest 3 Instagram projects. I like that you're not just blasting work out there constantly, you know, or just like stills. You're actually taking the time to make a fully fleshed out story, even if it's just a short story. So it started with, to me, it looks like it started with the octopus one. So yeah, that was super cool because the detail and the animation of that like tentacle coming out, and then just, you know, and the cloth also, yeah, I was curious about the cloth, whether that was Marvelous Designer. So that looked really, really cool, and just like the little comedic like story of the octopus like reaching out, grabbing the, you know, the little cloth, and then bringing it back into its hole, and like just the pause before it goes in, like, you know, you could easily just have it go back in, but like the little pause, it like feels like it belongs in a Pixar film. It's like from Finding Nemo almost. It looks like that level of quality to me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really glad that you noticed. I mean, this was interesting transition for me because I wanted to do something. First of all, I used to do mainly dark stuff. More of my stuff were kind of like dark and vignette and like dynamic, and I was becoming the branded as that type of the guy. Even IMAX fits really well to this world.
Like the rugby stuff or what?
Yeah, the rugby stuff, my robot, Lucol commercial of the engine. Right. So I did a lot of this kind of like dark dynamic things, and I thought I kind of want to try explore with the colors and with more bright things. Yeah. And the humor. So this was kind of the transition there. It was a starting dark, in the darkness, and it was a scary.
Right.
So it was a reference to my old type of work. And then it turned a light and it plays a ridiculous music. So this video actually, it was a kind of my own signal that I'm trying to do transition or experimenting with something else. And I did a few more videos when I was playing with the light. I was like, this is one which I didn't release yet, which was like interesting. I hope I will still finish it. So I start playing more with the bright things, and even the run, the obstacles one is dark and moody, and then on the end he run to the like bright world. Yeah. So this is another, again, the small message which people.
The one that's on the Max Unreal where the guy is running through the cloth. Is that what you're talking about, or?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So this is kind of like small messages that I'm trying to experiment with the bright things and bright environments. And the latest one, the astronaut, it was like already full bright on. Right. But coming back to Octopus, it was interesting, it was challenging for me, how to rig the tentacle. Yeah, I didn't know when I started working on it how complicated it is to rig the tentacle. If you look on the videos, how it's moving, how it's like reaching the things, it's really complicated movement. So I had a hard time, so I tried so many different approaches to come up with some like function thing. And I was checking from Finding the Nemo, the rig of the octopus, It is ridiculous. This was in Maya. It's so ridiculous setup.
Yeah, they had to make it 7 tentacles rather than 8. They had to cut one off specifically because it was too difficult for them to do 8. Like, or just, I mean, even just doing 1 is so freaking hard.
No, it was really complicated, and I wanted to try cloth. I wanted to see what I can get out of Cinema 4D. So it's a Cinema 4D.
It's a C4D console?
Yeah. There's some small jittering, but yeah, it's a C4D. It's a turbulence FD for smoke.
Yeah.
It's an Arnold smoke for some parts. Octane for like, I'm using Arnold for smoke, for simulations, because I'm getting the better results. And then the Octane for like the rest of the scene. So sometimes I'm mixing both renderers, depends what I want. And yeah, I mean, this was kind of like my first attempt to do something funny, but also didn't land it so well as I wanted. But this happens. I mean, it's about the persistence, and as you mentioned, there's a lot of people out there who's like shooting one video after another video on Instagram or style frames, pictures.
Right.
I kind of want to take a time and develop a little bit the idea in my head and like do something more meaningful for me or in my eyes. But on the other hand, Instagram is designed for frequency. So it has cons and pros. But
I think that you can get to the same level though. Some artists like Hoodass, like we were looking at, you know, he doesn't post that much, but it's the quality. You know, if you present this quality, and that was your first video you released like that just for Instagram, which by the way, I'm amazed that you've got time, you know, working at the mill of all places, that you're, you know, putting aside your friends and your personal life to experiment on top of the work you're doing at, you know, one of the top studios in the world. So like that blows my mind. I don't know how how you can make time for that, but yeah, like I was saying, you know, yeah, it's just, that's super cool, man.
Yeah, thank you very much. I mean, it is. Yeah, if you work full time, it's not really easy to find the time for personal projects. So you need to kind of be really willing, and you need to have the inner passion or drive to really do it. That you are enjoying it. Because I'm not doing it for money now because it's not paid. I'm just doing it kind of because I want to do. I want to do something to fulfill myself and do something which I'm having fun and ideally entertaining people as well.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm like trying to now figure it out. But sorry, what was the first?
Oh no, it's okay. It's cool that you're utilizing the mill's, you know, resources to like do this stuff. And then that's where I wanted to get into, you know, like the second of your 3 personal projects that I've seen. The Houdini sim is like one of the, it looks like it belongs in a feature film. Like, it's really cool that you collaborated with that guy at the mill. I'm not sure what his name is, but yeah, talk a little bit about that project as well.
Yeah, it's a Jae-jun. It's really interesting collaboration. I mean, he's a Houdini artist. He's a really good Houdini artist. And at the mail, I sent the email just, hey guys, I'm working on a personal project. It's inspired by atomic bomb explosions and tests from 50s.
Yeah.
I want to do this and this. I show them animatic. And it's kind of interesting. We want to do some explosion of the host for another project. We will give you one artist to help you develop this look. Cool. So he was like basically paid by the mail.
Oh, no way, that's awesome.
He was paid by the mail to working on this demolition test, which they could use for mill project. But at the same time was working on the assets for my project.
Right.
So it was like win-win situation.
That's awesome.
And we started like doing more collaboration, and he started explaining me in Houdini and showing me how it works, and I started a little bit understanding more about this complicated, sophisticated, but amazing software.
Yeah.
And right now, yes, we are doing like some more collaborations, and but in the same time, it is long path. I mean, if you are doing it for free in your personal project, and you want to do like each shot in the project that I was preparing was like heavy effects, like smokes, explosions, like there was so many.
The way the roof tears off is just crazy and looks so realistic.
I mean, I'm really happy about the results. I mean, I'm flying above the model and I'm still finding new angles.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, wow, that's so good. It's so good. I could just make a couple of 5 small projects just based on the simulation, and they will be different. I can play with the lighting. I have all the smokes. It's VDB, so I can lit it differently. It can be day and night. I can have fire inside. And yeah, I mean, he did such an amazing job. I mean, I downloaded a lot of references for him, and then I was giving some creative feedback, but he did like amazing demolition job on it.
Totally.
And but in the same time, we realized how much work it is.
Yeah.
I mean, this was the first small shot. I mean, it was a key shot from the short movie, but it was so hard that we burned a lot of energy on it.
Yeah.
And I have to say sadly that now we kind of stopped working on this project because when I put together, when I try to be realistic, sometimes artists, they are like, yeah, we're gonna do it, it's gonna be cool, yeah, it's gonna be nice, and you don't think too much about the schedule.
Exactly.
So I was like this before. I was like, and then I was like, oh, it's taking a long time. So now I really put the Excel sheet or Google document sheet, and I number the shots. I put a list what I have to do and how long it's gonna take, and I realized it's gonna take me, if I'm gonna be working now full time, it's gonna take me like 8 months maybe, maybe even more to finish it. I mean, even 3 months, if I would be working on nothing else, it would take me at least 3 months, which right now for project that's just for free, it's really demanding and time consuming, and I would need the help of some Houdini artists anyway. So I kind of put this project now on standby, and I hope I will finish it one day. I don't know, we'll see what's gonna happen.
I hope so too, man. Sorry, Matt, your back I'm sure is killing you, but I have like one more question for him.
Sorry, Matt.
No, it's okay. I do the long interviews and it always pisses him off, and he's like, oh, my back. Okay. But yeah, I mean, so that's amazing, and yeah, it's really good of you to like create that schedule, and that is, more kind to the artists that you're working with in their time, and also good for yourself. Like, oh, let's be realistic about this. How much is it going to take? So that's awesome. And the other thing that you said that really, sparked something in my head was just like, yeah, when you finally build out an amazing environment like that, or that sim, it's so tempting to go in and like make 5 different projects out of it, like reuse it, like build some kind of digital environment. I'm like, oh hell yeah, now I can fly cameras through it and do all these different things. That's one of the most fun things about CG is like, once the build is done, then you're a photographer and you can, shoot it and light it however you want. But then, yeah, so the latest personal project, this is the one that's blown up the most. And I think in great part because of the comedic element, like the idea that this Tesla or car is floating out in space thanks to Elon Musk, and these astronauts are trying to catch it. It's like the grand prize, and so it's this guy that like kind of bounces off. It's like Mars environment. This guy in an astronaut suit bounces off the car, and it feels like gravity. It like reminds me like 1-to-1 of Sandra Bullock like scrabbling to get to the portal or whatever it is, not die, but he's trying to get the car, and like the animation is so convincing that it looks like mocap to me. I'm like, is this mocap? No, wait a second, it couldn't be, because there's no mocap that exists of someone floating in space. So you hand animated that, and that's what blows me away more than anything about this project. That, and then the reveal when you pan to see all the other astronauts that are making fun of this dude because they've all failed too, and he's like, no, I got this one.
Yeah, I mean, this is like my latest project, which kind of got bigger attention, and I was so happy and excited working on this project. Actually, it's after the house explosion, which was so much time consuming to do. I wanted to do something personal, but something which is gonna be faster. And I knew I already have a rigged car, and I had like nice landscapes and environment. So I thought, okay, let's put something together which could be like make it faster, but it's gonna be more exciting for me or more enjoyable for me to work on. And hopefully I will entertain people. I thought, let's do something bright, colorful, and try to give them some message. And like some more like ideas which were in my head, which were forming. And then when I was building the flying car, and everybody, oh, this looks like Elon Musk. Because the original idea with flying car was slightly different, and then it actually makes totally sense. And let's make a fun of it, and let's this happy astronaut by Elon Musk, which is like flying into space. Let's try to make the other astronauts kind of jealous and try to get this car. And it's funny you are mentioning the gravity, because it was kind of reference in my head when I was building on it. And I told my sound designer, which was White Noise Lab, Roger Lima, he did so great job. I mean, the audio is so good. So many people said that the video is made by the audio, and I agree, audio is so great, and he did such a great job. And I was telling him, I want to do struggle. I want to show the struggle by the audio supported, like the gravity. When you don't even want to hear the music. I don't want to hear the music in this spot. I just want to hear the voices, the breath, and I just want to like focus more on the this struggle to give more emotions to that one person than overkill it with the music. I seen someone recently, they reposted on his Instagram, and they put some like electronic EDM music or whatever, and it's just like wow. And they did the color grading on it, like some kind of like American color grading. Just like wow. I mean, they just like took it and they like totally like changed it.
That's not cool.
Yeah, that's not cool. Yeah, I need to figure out what I'm gonna do with this in future. But But definitely, I was enjoying this project because, yeah, I tried to build a line. In the beginning, I wanted to do some abstract scene, flying car in the desert. So it's like basically 3 chapters of this short story.
Cool.
And then you introducing the problem. There's like some guy flying and trying to get the car. You don't know why he's trying to get the car, what's going on, but you see there's something start going on, and you quickly understand that he's trying to get into the car, which also helped the audio when he said, I got it.
Right.
So he's trying to get there, but I wanted to make it, if he would get to the car, it'd be like, yeah, okay, he made it. I just like, no, I want to fail this guy, I want to fail this guy. And he's like flying away.
Totally.
Then I got the idea. It was initially there with the other astronauts. But I remember, I don't know if you've seen movie Stardust. There was like dead princes, I think. And there was like some main story. And they were kind of like hanging in the air, and they were commenting what's going on. And they were kind of like laughing to it. And I thought, this has like double meaning. There's like a bunch of the astronauts dudes which already missed the car. They didn't made it, and they like flying into space like pointlessly. Right. And then on the same time, they are kind of spectators of this event, so they can somehow react.
Right.
And Roger came with this laughing sound to them, and that's it. That's totally like make it happen. And I was like so happy how it went together, and it was like a really nice collaboration with him.
Yeah.
And I had a really good time, and because of this, and because of nice warm feedback from the people, I started working on another episodes. We will see what's gonna go, because sometimes you need a lot of things which can have to click to make something which people will enjoy. So you can't really predict well what's gonna make people laugh. It can be hard, but I hope I will be able to kind of like use my sense of humor, which I was trying to use in previous videos as well, and I will do short, funny series about the struggle in the space. So stay tuned on my Instagram.
Yeah, I'm super excited to see that, man. Thanks so much for talking to us. Yeah, it's great to talk to you, and I love hanging out here. You know, it's been great. You know, you've been like more part of the community this time, I think. And yeah, it's it's great, and I'll see you at SIGGRAPH and all the next events and stuff, man. All right, Matt's so tired. Thanks, guys. Signing off.